Good morning. So it is past 7 weeks recovery, and I'm not too sure if I can call it recovery anymore. I've really fallen off the bandwagon, as they say, where the exercise is concerned. So I'll give you a clue. Last week I ran 10k, then did yoga, then ran 10k, then I went to the gym and did an upper body workout, then I went to the gym and did a lower body workout. Should have rested on Saturday, but went for a 30-mile cycle. 30 miles. So I cycled for 2 hours and 44 minutes. Then on Sunday, cleaned the house from top to bottom. I was exhausted yesterday, absolutely exhausted. And I know that I was, because I was miserable. And even though I am eating, because I haven't had a rest, I shouldn't have gone to yoga, and I wasn't going to go, but it was Anne's last week. And even my husband said, do you know what, Em, you'd regret not going. She's moving to Canada. And, she's been a big part of my journey, if you like. So, yeah, so I went and I really struggled. Really, the heat just hit me. Plus there was a new girl that come in, and bless her heart, she got lumbered right in front of the heater. And I said to her, have you ever done this before? And she said no. And I said, well, swap with me then, because you're not going to be able to, it's just horrendous. And about halfway through I was cursing that girl, because the backs of my legs were actually burning from the blaring heat blowing on them. Anyway, that's another story. So, Monday, I have run 10k this morning, and I can't deny it. I feel good. I don't feel good in myself. I feel absolutely huge. I could feel every single inch of me running this morning. I could feel everything jiggling. My foot feels heavy. It feels heavy to lift my legs up. It feels heavy to load my body round for that 6-mile run. It's definitely proving to me that I'm suffering with the appearance of the weight gain, and maybe a bit of fluid retention still. My eyes are a bit puffy, you can see on the video. It's just round here, it's this round here. I'm used to my arms being fairly lean, and I just feel huge, like massive, like under here. What's this? What is this? And for what? I'm still probably more active than the average Joe. And yet I'm feeling disgusting. I tried on some clothes yesterday. We go away on holiday on Thursday, and I tried some clothes on yesterday in Lakeside. And the first shop, I was like this. And I thought, no, hold it back. You'll be fine. The second shop, I got a little bit whirled up. Third shop, I just broke down. And we had to leave the shopping centre because I could not stop uncontrollably sobbing. I sobbed all the way home. I am a sobbing wreck. And I was in the worst mood ever. So, it's either good news, and that my little spotting last week was in fact an ovulation bleed, and I'm due on. And I'm going to come on next week when I'm wearing my white bikini around the pool, because that's just my luck. Or that was my period. I didn't ovulate. That was my light bleed from the build-up of estrogen, because I definitely had a lot more estrogen in my cycle this month. I say my cycle. I don't have a cycle, so I had a build-up of estrogen that was recognised on the predictor kit. That's about it. Oh, I finally got my appointment through from the endocrinology department. It has been, let me see, over 2 years since my last appointment. And I never got signed off. I was meant to go back in a year. 2 years later, I've had to call them, and I have finally got an appointment. They're only testing me on my bloods, though, for FSH, LH, and estradiol. No progesterone, which may be because I'm not having any period. Maybe my progesterone levels would naturally be low anyway, but they're not testing prolactin, they're not testing anything. Well, that's next month. I'll have gone on holiday by then and become an even bigger whale. It just seems to be that whatever I eat at the moment, I'm not excessively eating unhealthily either. I mean, I just eat. I eat when I want to eat. I eat when I'm hungry, and I'm not really restricting my portions. I go to bed full and I wake up, you know, I'm satisfied 100%. So this is what I've got to accept to be satisfied. I either accept this and be satisfied and train like I am, which is still a bit too much, but it's probably more on a normal level person's exercise than, you know, an excessive amount. You know, sometimes I'd go and run, say 10k this morning, and then I'd go to the gym at lunch, and then I'd go to hot yoga tonight. So, you know, I'm getting there. I'm nowhere near going back to what I was yesterday, what I was even a few months ago. But I'm still a long way off. No one can tell you how bad you feel when you're starting to put size 10s on and even they are fitting where they touch. In certain things, I had to go for a size 12. And all right, the size 12s were all big. They were too big. But because they were comfy and because they looked loose on me, I felt more confident. It's probably the worst time for me. And I'm panicking, which is why I'm doing more running. I am panicking. I'm panicking about the way that I feel in clothes. I said to my husband this morning, he said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, no, I'm fine." He said, "You know, maybe you feel better than yesterday." And I said, "Well," I said, "things play on my mind, babe." I said, because normally when we go out shopping, this is not me, by the way, because I'm not that kind of person. I don't tend to recognise other people if they stare or whatever. But my husband would always say to me, "Oh, it's like walking with a celebrity walking through the shopping mall with you. You know, everybody stares at you." And I'm like, he said, "Even women stare at you, men stare at you." And I'm like, do they? You know, I always used to be like, really? Do you know, he never once said that to me yesterday, not once. And that played on my mind. How stupid and fucked up is that? It played on my mind that my husband wasn't jealous of strangers walking past and staring at me. Because they weren't staring at me. Not as much as what they normally do. I didn't even recognise it. And not that I normally recognise it anyway, but he normally recognises it. So either he was just in his own little world, or it didn't happen. And I'd say the latter part was true, because he always spots it every time we go. And maybe that's fueled the way that I am. Maybe telling somebody every day, "Oh, you're this, you're that, you're the other." It makes you believe that you value your self-worth and what you look like. And that's exactly what I've done. I value my self-worth in this world on my thinness, my leanness, my weight. And I'm a million miles away from being recovered, a million miles away. Yes, I'm eating well. I don't even count calories anymore. I'm just eating. I just eat when I'm hungry. I don't feel guilty. I sat there last night, and although 99% of my diet is healthy, it should be an 80-20 split. Mine's a 99.9 split with a 0.01. You know, that 0.01, I will have every now and again something that I would class as forbidden foods. Last night, you know, I quite comfortably had my dinner. I didn't need anything else, but I just fancied having a couple of my son's Haribos, and I had a few Haribos. And you know what? I didn't wobble. I didn't binge either. I had what I wanted. I had 5 or 6, I think, these little cherry things and little cola bottles, and that was it. Didn't touch them again. Didn't feel bad about it. Didn't feel like, oh my God, I've got to run extra miles tomorrow because of it. I just ate them, and they were nice. And didn't really feel much out of anything, which is a step forward. So the food-wise, I'm definitely getting there. But everything else, as far as the exercise, I'm already in my brain thinking, so how can my arms get smaller? How were my arms smaller? Was it body combat that I used to do? That used to make my body smaller? That's what I've been thinking about today. Maybe I should do body combat tomorrow. I do miss body combat. In fact, I used to love body combat. I might do it. I don't know yet. I should be resting. But then I'm having a rest day on Thursday when we go to the airport, so that's good. I'll keep you posted on how I go. But 7 weeks, 3 days, no period, no signs of a period. Cervical mucus is creamy actually, so that could be a good sign, but no more spotting, nothing else is going on, no more cramps, just very emotional, very moody, training again, but eating. Still fueling myself before and after as well, not, sort of measuring any stupid porridge bowls. Long way off though, guys, and had a bit of a setback really, I think. Let's see how I choose to play out this setback, whether I continue or whether I let off. At the moment, it looks as though I'm going to continue. But those of you that have the setbacks, don't have them with the food as well as the exercise. If you're going to do it, don't have a double whammy. If you're going to do it, just do one or the other. If you're going to have a setback, then be it that it's more the exercise than you're under eating. Because I think a lot of this component into why I've got what I've got is the nutrition side of things. It's definitely under fueling, because there are many people out there that run ultra marathons and never lose their periods. But they're fueling themselves. They've got nutrition behind them and they're doing it properly, not half-heartedly like I did, trying to restrict every, even if I just had a handful of cashews, I'd think, oh shit, I've got to run a bit more. Or shit, I'll put an extra 2 miles on tomorrow. It's that kind of mentality.
You and I, we're always on the edge. We fight and make love at the same time. Would you break up just because I told you?